I am generally stunned. The bearish takes are turning into bullish takes, which is related to ARK Invest saying that they believe that Tesla will indeed launch robotaxis in 2025 next year. And we know that Tesla suggested that at scale, robotaxis will cost 30 to 40 cents per mile. I really think that's sandbagging though, and I think it will be closer to 25 cents per mile, which is ARK's estimate. Ride-hail costs right now are at $2, and personal car ownership is 70 cents per mile. And that bearish take turning into a bullish take is related to this. Waymo is currently providing an average of over 21,000 paid robotaxi trips per day. Their entire robotaxi fleet is now driving nearly 143,000 fully autonomous miles per day. And Mr. James here has been historically very bearish on Tesla's FSD, but on Waymo's 150,000 miles news, he says it is completely irrelevant to Tesla. Even if Waymo were everywhere like Uber is now, it would still be irrelevant. Because Tesla's approach to autonomy guarantees it will have the lowest cost per mile, and by far. Ride sharing is a commodity, price and availability are the key success factors. And I can actually totally prove it to you also that this doesn't matter. Did you know that the Model 3 was launched in 2017, but the Nissan Leaf, which you could call a Model 3 competitor, was actually launched many years before that in December of 2010. And yet the Model 3 is absolutely annihilating the Nissan Leaf. Why? Because it's just not that good, and relatively speaking, for what you get compared to the Model 3, it's actually expensive. So if Tesla can charge much lower and is more widely available, which it will, because Tesla's fleet is 1,000 times bigger than Waymo's fleet, no matter when FSD is solved, Tesla wins this race the moment it enters the race, which is just one of the reasons why I remain all in Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. In the long term, and I'm speaking 10 years out here, I see the risk being very low. There is still always a risk. Anything can happen. But if Tesla continues executing like it has been in the last 10 years, I believe there's definitely a 10x opportunity waiting for us on the other side. But only if you are patient and if you don't panic sell. And by the way, I'm not the only one stunned by what James said there. Farzad is also checking on James. Are you okay? Look, I remember the time period back in 2019, 2020, 2021, when the bears, a lot of them started becoming bullish. And this is a sign of that as well. This is the future and it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. There's no question. Will this happen? It's just, when exactly will it happen? We will see these cyber caps all over the place, everywhere, taking people from destination A to destination B every single day, everywhere in the world, starting with the United States of America. You will literally be able to get in a cyber cab and sleep just like that and wake up at your destination. This is the cyber cab. The cyber cab, by the way, will automatically adjust to your preferred climate settings and seating position and music preferences before it even arrives. It will know your profile, basically. A few things I noticed from that video, see how the screen, the computer is actually got a bit thicker at the bottom. That's interesting. There's definitely going to be some more effective hardware in there. Also, can you see this? Plaid Airlines? Huh? Also, if you are able to do calls like this in the Tesla Cybercab, that would be great. If I'm going on a long ride, oh, this is so good. Tesla investors are really excited about what's going on with the Cybercab and what the possibilities are. Anyway, getting back to the Plaid Airlines, seriously, is Tesla working on a plane? I doubt it, but maybe eventually that could happen. I'm thinking that maybe for SpaceX it would make more sense to actually do that, but if Tesla eventually does end up doing that, I will fully support that. Tesla has more cash and it's definitely much easier for Tesla to raise a lot of cash than it is for SpaceX, as SpaceX is still a private company. So maybe actually for Tesla it would make more sense to pursue making a plane. And those of us who have dogs and cats will definitely be excited about Cybercabs, because you'll just be able to send your dog to the babysitter without having to go yourself. Although I'm not really sure that would be allowed, because the car could get Smelly. Tesla is actually releasing a new FSD version for hardware 3 owners specifically, so I'm gonna check it out. Maybe I have it. This version though only has minor bug fixes. It doesn't have end-to-end highway yet. The version 12.5.6 does have end-to-end highway. This is 12.5.4.2. Hey, actually I can see how this happened. I've been driving on FSD a lot and I haven't really been using the turning signals anymore. At least when I'm on FSD, I don't. Someone has cobwebs. This is literally proof that if you use FSD a lot, you don't need the turning signals to be stocks. I am genuinely stunned again. Cobwebs in a Tesla on the stock because you're not using it. Wow. Now, remember how Tesla's stock went up a lot last week after earnings? Naturally, ARK Invest sold some Tesla stock. Now, I personally don't agree with it, but ARKK already had Tesla at 15.5% in their portfolio, and anything over 10% already is a big win. Now, technically, their prospectus allows them to hold a stock in one single industry, which takes up to 25%. So in theory, it could go higher, but generally speaking, ARK Invest likes to cut when the stock goes above 10% and especially above 13%, and it's still at 15.5%, and this sale was rather small. So this was Monday, and yesterday they did sell a little bit more, and the holdings are still over 14.6%. For an institutional investor, that's a lot to have in just one single stock, which shows that Kathy Wood definitely 100% believes in Tesla stock. Electric wrote a story, which at first sounds really bad, but the moment you look into it a little bit more, it's like, this is a nothing burger, basically. But he says, Fred Lambert from Electric, these 3 Tesla insiders, including Elon's own brother, are preparing to sell $300 million in Tesla stock. This is the chairwoman, Robin Denholm, well, by the way, most of it is still in Tesla. She's definitely not diversified still. It's a lot in Tesla that she has. Then Kimball Musk and another board member, Kathleen Wilson Thompson. But all of them adopted a Rule 10b5-1 trading arrangement for the potential sales. Investors really don't like when insiders just sell the stock out of nowhere. But if it's a 10-5-1 sale, we still don't like it, but we're okay with it. And for those who say, oh, when insiders sell, it's always bad, take a look at Jeff Bezos. You can see the stock price here, and you can see how much he sold. He sold some stock pretty much every single year except in 2011, as well as 2007. All other years he sold stock, and yet the stock did absolutely amazing. And Amazon is still doing great. One reason why investors don't really mind the 10b5-1 arrangement is because you're not selling immediately. There's basically a deadline. In this case, it's June, then May, and February. Anyway, what is Kathy Wood buying with the money that she got from selling Tesla shares? She's buying Archer Aviation stock. She's been great with Tesla. Other stocks, I'm just gonna move on. There's some big news here for Elon Musk. Elon Musk's xAI is in talks with investors to raise funding that would value it at $40 billion. You mean xAI would basically be more valuable than X? That's really fast. And if you remember, xAI raised $6 billion at a $24 billion valuation just a handful of months ago. And we had some confirmation from Elon Musk that he would talk to the board and that Tesla possibly would invest in xAI. This is why I wanted Tesla to invest in xAI much sooner. If we would have done it a few months ago, now we would have pretty much doubled our money. If you remember, I was extremely firm about wanting Tesla to invest in xAI. I still want Tesla to invest in xAI, but hey, I'm a little bit upset about this missed opportunity here because Elon teased this idea not just a few months ago, it was also teased a while ago and nothing came of it. And I will definitely be upset if we Tesla stock investors don't get a piece this time either. Specifically on xAI, Elon Musk commented just now, if you're training a frontier model, you need a massive amount of compute. He said this in the Saudi Arabia conference, which you can watch on my channel. It's the last video before this one. xAI has built built what it says is the world's largest data center in Memphis, Tennessee, where it is training new versions of Grok. But Elon did say on the last Tesla earnings call that XAI has been helpful to Tesla AI quite a few times in terms of things like scaling up. Yeah, I like that. I don't mind it, but come on. Let's get Tesla invested in XAI. We also learned that XAI plans to bring online an additional 100,000 NVIDIA GPUs at its Memphis, Tennessee training cluster within the next few months for a total of 200,000 NVIDIA GPUs, doubling the size of what was already the world's largest and most powerful supercomputer. No wonder it's named Colossus. And check this out. This is some really good stuff. They are building and turning on these training systems in record time. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman reportedly told some Microsoft executives recently that he is concerned that XAI could soon have more access to computing power than OpenAI. And he is right. And I, as a Tesla investor, I want a piece of that. As a retail investor, it's pretty much almost impossible for me to invest in XAI without some ridiculously high fees. It would just be much simpler for Tesla to actually invest directly in OpenAI. Tesla has $33 billion in cash right now, and it's accumulating. It's going up. It's getting bigger. So why don't we take a few $1 million and just put that in XAI? Here's what the XAI supercomputer looks. These pipes, by the way, that you just saw, these are cooling pipes. These are massive. Yes, what you're looking at right here, this is for cooling. This is not a utility pipe. This is for cooling. From this angle, it looks even bigger. This is ridiculous. And I definitely agree with Omar here. Elon Musk's ability to build out training clusters rapidly is definitely material to Tesla. The new Cortex facility in Texas likely looks quite similar to this. But one of the biggest reasons why this is really something to behold is that the whole thing was installed and connected and actuated for AI training in only 19 days. How long does it take for others to accomplish something like this? 1 year. And by the way, Tesla Megapacks are used to power XAI's computer cluster because, contrary to a spinning electric generator, batteries can respond instantaneously to the varying electrical load demanded by the 100,000 GPUs. Now, I've heard some people saying, oh, but sometimes Elon Musk may exaggerate some timelines on how fast something was done. Well, did he really? In this case, NVIDIA actually itself confirmed that XAI really did build out the whole thing in this amazingly short time frame. It took 19 days from the time the first rack rolled onto the floor until training began. Elon Musk also gave another interview. This one was given to a conference room full of neurosurgeons, and this was specifically about Neuralink. I greatly enjoyed it. One of the most interesting parts for me personally was that in very high volume, it should start at approximately the cost of an Apple Watch or a phone, so maybe $1,000 to $2,000 for a Neuralink. And they already have a game plan for a 600-second surgery, so 10 minutes. You sit in the chair, and 10 minutes later, you have an implant. Talk about fast. And Elon reiterated that by replying with a yeah. And in that other interview with Peter Diamandis, which was just recorded in Saudi Arabia, Elon basically went on a rampage of stunning predictions. He didn't make any new predictions that he hasn't made before, but if you haven't watched Elon Musk for a while, this is a perfect interview to watch because everything is just basically summarized in 21 minutes. Everything that Elon Musk is predicting for the next 5 to 10 years. Also, one important thing to note, when I post interviews like that on my channel, I am titling them with an assumption that most of the people that will watch this, they haven't watched a Tesla news video before, because these videos, they reach a much wider audience, and these people, they don't actively follow Elon Musk. Note that I didn't title the video Elon Musk goes on a rampage of new stunning predictions. I didn't use the word new predictions. And with these types of videos, the vast majority of people that watch them, they have never even watched my channel once, not even once before. It's often their first time. So most of these people are definitely not active followers of Elon. So just keep in mind when you see a video like that from me, I'm titling the video for people that haven't watched anything from Elon in a long while. According to 10 new public filings, Tesla plans to complete the interior build-out of 5.2 million square feet within its Giga Texas factory by the end of 2025. And according to these filings, the start date was last week. And there's a bit of a disagreement between Fred Lambert from Electric and Sawyer Merritt. Electric says Tesla is doubling the size of Gigafactory Texas, but Sawyer says this is wrong. This is just to complete the interior build-out of Giga Texas' existing structure, not build a new structure. Also, Giga Texas has roughly 10 million square feet of factory floor, so even if Tesla were to add 5 million, that would be a 50% increase and not a doubling. I usually find Electric to be pretty good with facts, but it's the opinions of Fred Lambert that I usually strongly disagree with. Here's some good news for EVs. S&P Global Mobility forecast September and October BEV US market share will reach above 9% for the first time ever. We are approaching 10%. Tesla's team has been a lot more active on X commenting, and I really like this. For example, one of the top 10 most important people from Tesla, Lars, responded to that post saying safety is and always will be our top priority. First comes our autopilot safety features that are always active in every Tesla, whether you are in FSD or not. The goal is to prevent crashes, but if the worst occurs, you will be protected by the best passive safety cars on the planet. There's one thing about this safety feature that slightly annoys me, but I'm still very glad that it happens because usually it's pretty good. But there are a few times when, let's say I'm on FSD and the collision warning system goes off even if there's nothing too wrong that FSD is doing. But I also had one time where the collision warning system did give me a warning. It was fine in terms of how safe it was when I was on FSD, but it was a bit close for comfort. So I was sort of glad it did give me that warning. But these two systems are definitely, I'm sure, separate. I have also had a few times where the collision warning system just goes off for no good reason, but I find that to be very rare. We got new delivery numbers based on insured units from China. We got 10,500, so not great, but not bad either. The estimated delivery period of the Chinese Model 3 has been changed. No change for the Model Y though, but the Model 3 has been changed from 4 to 6 weeks before to now 2 to 4 weeks. Last week, Tesla sold 800 Model 3s, as you can see right here. Oh, Roland made this beautiful chart. We know that Tesla reported the highest gross profit in 7 quarters and the highest operating margin since Q2 of 2023 in Q3 earnings. The trend is looking good. A BYD quarterly report just came out, and BYD did actually exceed the revenue that Tesla generated in the last quarter. Keep in mind that they are selling a lot of plug-in hybrids and Tesla made a lot more in profit. Oh, Tesla pauses deliveries of 2025 Model Y in the US due to a hold from EPA. No details were provided how long this hold will last or when will it be lifted, but I assume it shouldn't be too long. The reason why this happened is because Tesla continues to make improvements to its vehicles throughout the year, but it still needs to conform with industry standards, and that's why the hold is happening. Specifically, Tesla has to get each of their vehicles range ratings recertified by the EPA. So there was someone who was supposed to get their Model Y on October 28th, but now their delivery is on hold, and it's unclear when that person will get his car. Based on information from a delivery advisor, the hold is on all Model Y long-range rear-wheel drives built from October 1st. This is not the first time, though, this happened, and this before wasn't a serious issue, so I don't think anything is serious here. We know exactly when Cybertruck deliveries now start in Canada. It's going to be November 5th. Tesla just introduced Powerwall 3 expansion units in the US. For example, you can add up to 3 expansion units on a single Powerwall to increase your system capacity. It reduces installation time, extends outage protection, and increases electricity bill savings. It is quite a bit faster to do. Oh, well, this is going to be a waste of money. Toyota and Japan's NTT will invest $3.2 billion in research and development to create artificial intelligence software to improve self-driving. They are planning to develop automotive software which will use AI to anticipate accidents and take control of the vehicle. They should just license FSD from Tesla and save themselves $3.2 billion. Omar predicts this will be the worst software the world has ever seen. By the way, if you didn't know, NTT and Japan is short for Nippon Telegraph and Telephone. The tariffs in Europe are now officially starting this Wednesday. Each company will have a slightly different rate, but Tesla will have an extra 7.8%, and other companies can have as much as 35.3%. It's just looking really bad for Volkswagen. Their profits fell 42% in Q3, while vehicle sales fell 8.3% year over year. And Ford's Q3 earnings came out. The company's EV unit lost $1.2 billion with a negative EBIT margin of minus 100%. No wonder they keep buying these regulatory credits from Tesla. Tesla will not stop making money from these regulatory credits. These legacy automotive companies are literally incentivized to not sell EVs because every time they do, they lose. In this case, 104%. So you sell a vehicle for $50,000. Not only do you not make money from it, you lose $50,000. And check this out. EV revenue for Ford was down 33%. Now, supposedly when you scale down, you might have some cost efficiency sometime because you're no longer trying to invest in a big way and scale fast and grow fast. So their margins should improve, but no, they're not. And their volume overall is actually down 11%. Even revenue is down 33%. Whoa. James agrees with me that Tesla will continue making a lot of money from regulatory credits. Kevin O'Leary just made a comment about Elon Musk. Elon has exceptional skills and track record to fix the US deficit. I definitely agree with that. Look at the cuts that he made with Twitter. 80% just gone, and yet Twitter, now X, runs just fine. Some Tesla investors will certainly like this. Elon Musk says that he will leave politics after working on the Department of Government Efficiency. He will work on it for a little bit, and then he wants to leave politics completely. And Elon is making some jokes here. It seems like there was a shift when Elon bought X and opened it up. For example, Mark Zuckerberg wrote this letter regretting censorship at Meta. Jeff Bezos just now ended presidential endorsements on Washington Post and owns the fact that they are not trusted. I'd like to sincerely thank Elon Musk for doing all of this. I have also observed that even here on YouTube, things have changed a little bit with less censorship. But I'm happy to hear that Elon Musk does not want to permanently stay in politics. He just wants to come in, clean it up, and then exit and focus on his businesses. For example, he responded to this post from Tasha Keeney from ARK Invest. Tesla has been testing a ride-hail service for 1 year. This is a monumental step forward. Elon Musk replied, it's a big deal. That's it for this video. Make sure to watch the Elon Musk interviews. If you haven't yet, just click into my channel and you will see that the 2 videos before this one are Elon Musk interviews. Thank you so much again. Make sure to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next video, probably on Friday.